Dan Abbott. I'm making this short video to show how to download an AutoCAD drawing file to be used as a title block and inserted into another drawing. This is specifically for the AEDD 105 class at Southern Maine Community College and is referring specifically to Brightspace. But the process of inserting a drawing into another drawing will be the same no matter what. We're looking at AutoCAD right now. Let's switch over and look at Brightspace. So this is the Brightspace page. Home page is right here. Home page is right here. So I indicated that I placed a new title block for the geometric construction assignment, and I put that on the assignment itself. So first go to the assignments. Under assignments, go down and find the geometric construction assignment. It's not quite what it'll look like to you. Let me make a quick change. So now I've got Brightspace set up so it looks like it would look to you as a learner and not to me as a faculty member. So we go down and we find the geometric construction techniques, and there's a file right here called A-size imperial or metric. If you select that, you have the option of opening it. Well, at least I have the option of opening it. I have Firefox set up to do that. But you also have the option of saving the file. Go ahead and save that file and just put it on your local computer. If you do, you could also bring it in directly from the Google Drive. However, you need to have Google Drive set up in such a way that you can access it from AutoCAD. So what I'm going to do is just put this in my Documents folder. I'm just going to save it. Now I go back to AutoCAD, start a new drawing. Now when I start that new drawing, I'm going to go over to a layout. In the layout, I'm going to right click, go to Page Setup Manager. Page Setup Manager comes up like this. We're going to modify the existing one. Monochrome is what we use for everything in this department. Now, if you have a specific printer or plotter that you want to use to print to, that's a physical printer or plotter, you can select it. Since we're doing this class on Zoom, we'll do the DWG to PDF. Now, ANSI full bleed 8.5 by 11 is going to give you the entire sheet that you can work with. That's one possibility. The other possibility is the ANSI expanded, which is down here, and that would also be, in this case, an A-size drawing. ANSI expanded A right there, 11 by 17. Either one of those should work for this. We close it, and we'll see if it does, actually. Now, we're going to do an insert. To do the insert, you're going to use the insert command. The letter I is the alias for that. The word insert is the name of the command, and what it does is opens up a palette on the right-hand side. That palette has 4 tabs. Current drawing means you're going to insert a block that's already been defined in the current drawing, which is not how we're going to do this. Instead, you're going to go to a library. When you go to the library, it allows you to go and look. In fact, I've got something in the library already because I've done some work with this. But you probably won't have, you'll either have an empty library here or there'll be other blocks in it. But if you go to the little stack of books with this sort of sunshine symbol and open that up, it brings you to a file dialog box, file management dialog box, and you can go and find whatever you just saved. In this case, well, it's actually opened up, and I went to my documents. So I put in the documents. So right now I'm looking for the A-size imperial or metric, which is right here. I'm going to say let's bring that in. Now it doesn't immediately insert it. What it does is places it on the palette in that library area, which then allows you to click on it and then bring it in. If you bring that in at 0, 0, you'll then get, I got to move that over here. Hang on just a minute. It's on my other monitor. You get this dialog box because we placed some attributes in this that you can then fill in. So you fill in the attributes with the title, the date, the scale, or you don't. Doesn't make any difference. You can just do that. It drops into place. Now you'll notice something here. With the expanded, the title block doesn't quite fit on the sheet of paper. So I'm going to go back down to Layout. I'm going to modify the layout again. Right click, Page Setup Manager. Modify it again. I'm going to select the ANSI full bleed because that gives me the whole sheet of paper to work with. So ANSI full bleed A 11 by 17 is right here. Close. Now that's my viewport right there. I'll just delete that to get out of the way. You'll notice that in full bleed, the title block gets awfully close to the edge of the paper. That means it might not print, depending on what printer you actually used it for, but it would print in a PDF file. If we did a preview, it would look like that. But it would make sense to take the corner, and then move it 1/4 of an inch over to the right and 1/4 of an inch up so that it's centered more on the sheet of paper. Now when you pick it, you get this little down arrow, and that's because this is a dynamic block and it comes in 2 versions, inches and metric. Now if you pick metric, all it does is changes the information in the title block from inches to metric. Go back to inches, and now it talks about inches instead. It does not change the size of the title block or of the border. Now I deleted the viewport, but you can put as many viewports as you want. If you go to the ribbon, all the tabs across the top, one of them is layout. If I click on it, now I can create a new viewport over here, and I can create that viewport as a rectangular viewport. I can make a polygonal viewport any shape I want, or I can put an object like a circle or a closed polyline and use that as a viewport. I'm going to pick rectangular. I'm going to make my viewport only as big as the area I have for plotting. Don't make the viewport larger than that, because that then makes it possible to put put things from model space that go under the title block. Now the viewport's right here, so if I draw something, and that thing that I draw, go out to here, whatever I draw sticks outside the viewport, it's not going to be seen under the title block. If you viewport, we're down here for instance, now the title block is not masking what's ever in model space, and that causes, well, that's just not what you want. And if you don't notice it, it's just going to look funny. So that's what you're going to do, and now you know exactly how much space you have. Go into the viewport, go over here and start picking scales. 1:1, not going to work. We're going to have a smaller scale. 1:2, that would work. Center whatever you're doing. Whenever you're done, lock the viewport.